Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Hey, so in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you exactly why you should never try to piggyback or copycat the investments that you see very large investors that are investing into the stock market are making. So we're talking about like your hedge fund managers, your billionaires, and your very multi-millionaires, you know, with multiple millions of dollars. And you are looking at their investments saying, hey, if they're rich and they're making these moves, then maybe I should make these moves as well. Well, we're going to be discussing exactly why you should not do that in this video. So if you're excited and ready to find out exactly why you should not copy their investing styles, be sure to hit that like button. And with that being said, let's dive right into today's video. Alright, you guys, so look, one of the very first things and problems that we need to address with this approach of looking to copy or piggyback the investment styles or the investment picks of these very multiple millions of dollars rich investors or even billionaires, hedge fund managers, things like that within the stock market, is that you need to realize that they are obviously rich and wealthy and you are not. And you're like, I know. I get it, Keith. Like, no duh. That's exactly why I'm wanting to do what they're doing, because I want to have what they have. You want to mimic that success. Well, there's a very, very significant flaw in that type of mindset and that approach of trying to copy them or piggyback their investments. And this is that flaw right here. Well, like I said, they're rich and you're not. So what does this also mean? This also means that this person has gone from at one point not being rich to becoming rich. And the other thing that you don't realize in that is that the way that you're seeing them invest today is not the type of investing style or the approach or the type of investments that that investor was making when they wanted to get rich and become rich and wealthy. So you're sitting back seeing them invest a certain way today after they're already rich and wealthy. But you're not looking at how did they become rich and wealthy. And what this means for you is, rather than you looking at them today and saying, hey, let me do what they're doing now that they're already rich and you're not rich, just like they weren't before, instead of saying, okay, you're looking at the version of them that's already successful, that's already rich and wealthy, and you're trying to copy that, rather than going back and saying, let me copy what they did in the beginning to become rich and wealthy. So you do not need to be trying to copy or mimic their investing styles or their investing approaches or investment picks from, you know, when they're already rich and wealthy. You need to be asking yourself, what was that investor's investing style or approach or tactic to go from being basically starting from zero and growing to being, you know, a millionaire or beyond. That's what you want to do, because you are trying to grow your wealth essentially from zero or very little amount of money into a lot of money, because like you're trying to get the same type of results like them. And then later, when you already have reached a level of wealth, then you can maybe start looking at, you know, people who are on your scale or way above, and you're already at that point, you know, rich and wealthy. So you take a different investing approach and have a different investing style now that you are already rich and wealthy. So what this means is that you want to focus on making investments that are going to help you grow your net worth. So then that way you could then in return get to the point of being like a millionaire and beyond. So you want to make those type of investments rather than looking at other people who are already rich, have already reached the goal of being rich and wealthy, and then saying, okay, let me invest like them, because they're going to take a completely different approach and they have a completely different objective than you do. Alright, you guys, so look, another reason why you would not want to just look at these very large successful stock market investors and say, hey, let me just copy what they're doing, let me invest in the same stocks, ETFs, index funds, or whatever cryptocurrencies that they're getting into, is because you do not realize that you don't know why these investors are making these investments. Like, why are they selecting them? You don't know the information that they have access to. So they're very informed and you are not informed. All you know is you're looking at someone who has already obtained rich and wealth and that they've done it through investing, and you're saying, hey, well, you know, they're smarter than me, they know things that I don't, they know what's a good investment I don't, so I'm just going to just blindly follow them with my money, and whatever they put their money into, I'm going to put my money into. Well, you cannot do that, because you don't know what the goals or objectives are from this investor. They might be like, to them, that investment that they make, it might be a very small representation of like their net worth. So and it might be totally speculative. Like they might be like, hey, we're making this investment because, you know, it has a potential to be very huge. So we put a little of our money, and later if it blows up, it's going to become like this, you know, massive return for them. Where if you follow those investors in making that decision, you're going to just like go all in and put your money into like an investment, and it might not pan out, and it's going to hurt you financially very significantly, versus as that investor, it's not going to mean anything to them. They're going to still be wealthy, and they're going to have plenty more other investments that are going to do well for them, and they're going to just keep on going on. So you cannot like just literally just like copy these investors in whatever stock market, you know, picks that you see them making. You cannot just invest blindly behind them. So you see that these investors, they can afford to be wrong and it not hurt them in a meaningful way. But for you, if you're wrong because you're copying them, not just because you made a bad choice, but or that you picked a bad stock investment, but you picked a bad stock investment because they picked a bad stock investment because you're just blindly following them. So when they're wrong, it doesn't really hurt them. Really none whatsoever. They just carry on. But when it hurts you, it pretty much sets you back significantly from your ability, or on your journey. It sets you back significantly on your journey of building wealth, because now you took a significant loss because you were now just copying these investors in hopes of a big gain, but instead of a big gain, you got a very big loss. This is exactly why you don't want to copy or piggyback their investments. Alright, you guys, so another reason why you don't want to try to piggyback or just copy the investment styles or approaches or stock picks that you see that these very large investors are making into the stock market is because what you also have to realize is these very large, very successful, very wealthy investors in the stock market are investing very large amounts of money, even when that large amount of money just represents a small portion of their net worth. So for them, they might invest $1 million into an investment. That might represent a small portion of their net worth. But to you, $1 million is like, you're like, in 10 years, I won't still have $1 million. In 20 years, I won't have $1 million. So for them, they're investing and buying into investments in very large amounts of money, buying large amounts of positions of these, you know, stock market investments. Whereas for you, you don't have access to that amount of money. You cannot purchase or invest that heavily to make the investment meaningful enough for you. So if you just try to look at the same investments that they're making and you try to buy those same investments or be in as many investments as them, it simply just won't make sense for you, because you cannot invest like them because you don't have the money that they have. So you cannot be in the same type of investments and have as meaningful of a return or as meaningful of an effect, because you do not have the type of cash or money to invest like they do. So that's exactly why you should never try to copy, mimic, or piggyback the investments that you see these very large, very successful, very rich and wealthy stock market investors are making into the stock market. So hey, what I want you to do next is I want you to find right here on the bottom right side of your screen, I want you to find that red subscribe button. I want you to give that red subscribe button a quick tap for me, so that way YouTube will notify you each and every time I upload a video. Then what I want you to do is find the thumbs up button on this video right here on the bottom side, on the bottom of your screen. Give that thumbs up button a quick tap for me. It really helps out my channel. Then I want you to head down to the comment section below this video if you're interested in getting started with investing for yourself into the stock market. I'm going to put a link to the company M1 Finance. It's a really great, awesome investing platform for you to go ahead and sign up and start your investing journey today. So that link to the M1 Finance will be in the comment section below this video as the pinned comment, as well as I will put the investing link to M1 Finance in the description box below. So be sure to head down to that comment section below, give me your feedback on this video, click that link to M1, sign up, start your investing journey today in the stock market, so that way you could be building your wealth and that one day you will be the rich and wealthy. And then also a video is going to pop up here on the screen. Be sure to click that video and YouTube is going to show you the very best video from my channel for you, and I will see you in that next video.